It's dawn. We're on the Miller farm. It had been raining the night before, just like it did last night. There was ground fog along the hollows, just like it is here today. We're on the front of the Confederate line. This is where a Georgia brigade was positioned. They knew there were Federals out here in the cornfield. Artillery fire had opened before dawn, and so artillery shells were flying overhead. The Confederates knew something was going to happen. It was going to happen soon, and suddenly there was strong movement coming through the corn, coming in their direction.
Listen up, boys, listen up.
Every man in our thin ranks lay low with his gun, ready to do or die. Then a grand sight met our eyes. Regimental standards floating in the morning air, indicating the advancing enemy. Isaac Bradwell, 21st Georgia Infantry.
We had 6 regiments of Georgians along here, and Colonel Marcellus Douglas felt it was the right moment. He gave the command for the men to rise, and as they rose, he gave the order at that point to fire directly into their front.
Our companies were marching forward through the thick corn. As we appeared at the edge of the cornfield, a long line of men in butternut and gray rose up from the ground. Major Rufus Dawes, 6th Wisconsin Volunteers.
This was the signal for the Confederates to open.
Simultaneously, hostile battle lines opened a tremendous fire upon each other. Men, I cannot say, fell. They were knocked out of ranks by the dozen.
These Confederates were several hundred yards in front of their supports. A few Confederates were moving up to help them, but they were basically here by themselves. They were firing as quickly as they could. The more Federals they shot, the more it seemed like the Federals were coming. Blue uniforms were pouring out of these fields. Men were falling on either side of these Confederates. Their friends were getting shot. Men were calling for water. The artillery shells were arcing overhead. This was a terrible place to be.
I don't want to die in this one! I don't want to die in this one! Get away! A shot and load! Load up! Load up!
The scene here along this fence line in the 6th Wisconsin's ranks would be one of boiling chaos, with soldiers running back into the corn.
Loading as fast as they can with no other motive except to just get the enemy.
This is the payoff moment of training. This is why the officers have made you go through all of these motions of loading and firing your gun over and over again so that it's become automatic. You can do it in your sleep, you can do it anytime, but the most important time is you can do it in the midst of this frightening chaos of combat.
Frank, now listen to me. I'll be back. But if I'm not back in 15 minutes, you untie this. You understand? What? Just 4 more minutes. I'm sorry. Untie this for a minute or two every 15 minutes. Right. 15 minutes, right. I don't pass out. Don't pass out. If you do, you're going to die. You understand me? I'll be back. Damn it, Cooper, don't leave him. All right. I'll be back. Let's go!
These Union soldiers who were sweeping forward towards the Dunker Church and the high ground, their objective point, seeing the backs of the enemy soldiers before them, to these Union soldiers, this moment seemed like victory.